Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. Today we are going to solve the exercise of the poem and the name of the poem is Nuruddin Uncle. Answer the following questions. What does Nuruddin Uncle wear on his nose? He wears his spectacles on his nose. Why is the boy not frightened by the stories? The boy is not frightened because Nuruddin uncle is sitting near him. What happens when the last story has been told? Uncle Nuruddin says goodbye to the boy and laughs with joy. This question is more difficult. Discuss it first. What kind of man is Nuruddin uncle? Say what qualities he has, giving examples from the poem. Nuruddin uncle is a kind and loving man. This is shown by the fact that he brings sweets for the speakers in the poem. He entertains the children with interesting stories. This gives him much joy, as is told in the last line of the poem. Next question. Answer the questions about this line taken from the poem. They ring in my head the whole night long. What rings in his head? The stories ring in his head. Do they really ring? What does this mean? This means that all the night he keeps thinking and dreaming about the stories. Why do you think the stories ring in the poet's head the whole night long? The stories keeping ringing in the poet's head because he keeps thinking about them the whole night long. Working with words, here are some useful verbs. They have special uses. Read them aloud and make your own sentences. Look at the following uses of the word draw. Word is draw. We can draw a picture. The match ended in a draw. The horse draws a cart. We draw water from the well. An anchor draws a bow. Look at the uses of word break. We break a glass. Wicked people break the law. The break open a lock. We can break news to a person. We can break a promise. Look at the uses of the word make. We can make a request. We can make a promise. We can make a noise. We can make a profit. We can make an effort. Now look how we can use these words in our own sentences. First word was draw. My sister draws beautiful pictures. My father drew 10,000 rupees from the bank. A bull was drawing a cart. The boy drew some water from the well. The bow broke while the arch was drawing it. Next word is break. The plate broke when I dropped it accidentally. People who break the law are punished. I had to break open the lock to cupboard. I had to break the news of his father's accident to him. A Muslim does not break his promise. Third one was make. I made a request to the teacher about getting leave. Do not make false promise. The children were making a great noise. Ali's father made a huge profit in his business. We made a great effort to win the match. Learning about language, join the following sentences using which. You will have to leave out some words in the second sentences in each pair. Example, this is the dog I gave it to you yesterday. This is the dog, sorry, नहीं है bag. This is the bag which I gave you yesterday. Next is, this is the pen I sold it to you last week. Answer of this question is, this is the pen which I sold you last week. This is the letter I sent it to my mother. This is the letter which I sent to my mother. This is the rice I bought it yesterday. This is the rice which I bought yesterday. Listening and speaking, find the rhyming words in the poem for the following: punch, lunch, munch, rose, goes, nose, shawl, tall, all. Add at least one rhyming word not in the poem to each set above. Read the sets of the words aloud. Punch, crunch, rose, hose, shawl, call. Next one is composition. Use the following in sentences of your own: as clear as day, as pale as a ghost, as loud as thunder, as quiet as a lamb, as flat as a board, as weak as a baby. Write a paragraph using one of the phrases given above. Can you use two or more that are linked? सबसे पहले इनको यूज़ करते हुए सेंटेंसेस बनाते हैं, उसके बाद फिर पैराग्राफ राइटिंग करेंगे। सबसे पहले था एज क्लियर एज डे, द वाटर ऑफ द स्ट्रीम वाज एज क्लियर एज डे। नेक्स्ट वन इज एज पेल एज अ घोस्ट, आफ्टर द ऑपरेशन ही लुक्ड एज पेल एज अ घोस्ट। As loud as thunder, the elephant's trumpeting was as loud as thunder. As quiet as a lamb, after having his milk, the baby was as quiet as a lamb. As flat as a board, this bed is as flat as a board. As weak as a baby, the old man was as weak as a baby. Paragraph writing. Ali caught malaria fever and took to bed for several days. After a long treatment, when he was finally able to stand up and walk a few steps, he felt himself as weak as a baby. His friends who came to visit him remarked that he looked as pale as a ghost. He did not went out to play for many days. Most of the time he spent in bed as quiet as a lamb.